Well. Thinking of purchasing a rural property? Then get the know on water source types for properties not connected to a municipal water supply. It's important to get an understanding of the three types of well that you may encounter in rural properties. Please keep in mind that I'm not a well expert or a technician or otherwise, but I have sold enough rural properties to give you the good and even the bad with each well scenario. So make sure you hit subscribe for my weekly real estate content, keeping you informed. And of course, please smash that like button for me. Thank you. All right, so let's get started. The first and most preferred type of well is what's known as a drilled well. So what does that even mean? A drilled well consists of a hole that's bored into the ground, and the upper part is lined with a casing, and the casing protects the groundwater source, providing a housing of sorts for the pumping mechanism and for the pipe that moves the water from the pump to the surface. So most drilled wells reach deep levels, therefore they have a lower risk of contamination and they have a more constant temperature. The average depth is somewhere between 160 to 250 feet, which is 50 to 75 meters. So, second type is bored wells. And bored wells, they are constructed with an auger, and it digs into the ground until it reaches a water table or encounters a material such as rock, which restricts the auger from going any further, right? So unlike drilled wells, bored wells are shallow in depth, and they draw water from sections of the earth above the bedrock. They're very common in like rocky terrains and that type of thing. Now, number 3, this is my least favorite type of well. And these are called dug well, and they're shallow. They're typically like 50 feet in depth, 3 feet wide. They're relatively inexpensive to construct using a backhoe or an excavator. You can get them made, but you don't generally use them for your drinking water source because of possible bacteria. It can be hard to keep a dug well sanitary. So dug wells lower the value of a property, and you're best to try and steer clear of these when you can. Dug wells have been known to decline in water levels as well in dry seasons. Then you're forced to get a water truck to come in and fill up your well, and of course that costs money, right? So whatever your water source, it must be potable. And potable just simply means that it must be drinkable for human consumption. So in order for you to get a mortgage, you need to have a potable water source. You will be required to provide a clean water report to your mortgage lender before you get the final approval. So please don't forget that. If you own a well, you're also responsible for it. You must make sure it's constructed to provincial standards, and you must also arrange to have your water tested regularly to ensure the water quality and safety. However, with that being said, well water has many benefits. It basically has a nearly endless supply of water, right? It's the most cost-effective way to deliver water into your home. No water bills. That's a good thing. And of course, a well lasts anywhere, 30 to 50 years kind of thing. So when you drink well water, you avoid harmful chemicals present in tap and municipal water. And when you have great tasting water, what happens? You drink more of it, right? And we all know the benefits of drinking a ton of water. So the water source for any home is reflective on the value of that home. So I want you to keep that in mind. So before you go signing on the dotted line and firm up on a deal, make sure your well water is tested for potability. And I always suggest that you hire a well technician to come in, inspect the well, and make sure that the pumping system is working, satisfactory before you firm up on the deal. Do your homework, make sure that you're asking the agent the right questions, and make sure you're hiring a knowledgeable agent.